Hi, Aries rising sign. Here is your weekly forecast starting on the 13th of October until the 20th of October. Now, just a reminder that last week I have spoken to you about Venus journey, and that is valid actually until the 15th of October. So you might want to be referring back to that because in this video I will not be covering the outer planets. However, Venus is carrying on its journey. And it is making a sextile to Juno, an opposition to Ceres in your first, and trine to Pallas Athene. And the transit is, well, basically, Venus transit in your seventh house puts the relationship into the spotlight. You might be looking for harmony, peace, beauty in your partnership. And maybe it's time to compromise, to be diplomatic, to appreciate the partner. Maybe the partner wants you to appreciate them. But the tension here is that Ceres is in the first, which is about me, self-care. So we've got this me versus we conflict. I want to nurture myself. I want to achieve things. I want to be independent. I want to be, caring for my personal projects. But it is in conflict with the desire for that peaceful relationship or with the needs of the partner. So what am I going to do? That's going to be one of the questions. Like, am I going to take care of my needs first or am I going to attend the needs of my partner? And this could be a conflict. Now, of course, we've got some easing up aspect to it. And that one of them is, of course, Juno. And that is giving you an opportunity here. And opportunity is coming from that shared vision. Like, what do we want together? Are we on the same page? Are we like committing to these higher beliefs? Do we have the same shared philosophies? Maybe we need to take a long distance trip. Maybe we need to study together. Maybe we need to be a little bit more adventurous. And Palasatin is giving you the solution actually. And the solution could be a bit socialization. The solution might be coming from your friends. Maybe your friends have gone through very similar stories, and maybe it's just all about group activities. Maybe this is about a friend of yours who is able to see the patterns here, and therefore they are able to give you a strategy. And that is helping you to balance your personal needs with the goal of that relationship. Aries, sometimes it's all about I want to be in charge. I want to prioritize my own needs. And that can create some type of conflict in a relationship. And now you are being forced to practice balance instead of just seeing it as a battle for my independence, the survival needs, the right to exist. So I think that trying to pull a satin is kind of like giving you the lifeline there. So talk to your friends about how they do it, because maybe you are struggling with it. And maybe that Pallas in Aquarius is kind of like a detached piece of advice that they are able to give you. Because they see you, like they say you not in it, but they see you. Um, this is also echoed, by the way, by the T-square that we are experiencing between Sun, Chiron, and Jupiter as well. And again, that's the core of your existence, right? This is a fundamental life challenge that you have been going through, and you just want to be you in a way. And now it gets reflected back in your relationship. So maybe it's kind of like a feeling that I cannot be the true unapologetic version of myself. I don't have the right to exist. And that is getting now triggered somehow by a relationship, and you might feel invisible, for example, in your partnership. Because all the attention is just, going on the partner. And this can be painful. And then you can react to it like it's It's a competition. So we can create some drama with it. The point of manifestation or release is actually Jupiter, which is in your fourth house, the house of home, family, emotional roots. And Jupiter is giving you, an advice here. The healing is within you. The only way to resolve this conflict is by feeling more secure in your own emotional world. Sometimes Aries, you are all about acting on impulses to fight, to prove yourself, to prove that, to prove your existence. And this T-square is telling you that all this is just projected onto a scenario. This battlefield is actually internal. So no one is going to heal you. The healing is going to start within yourself. It says nurture your inner child. Explore your family legacy, your family history. Have a corner in your home which truly feels like your own sanctuary. You need an unshakable emotional foundation. And then the third aspect pattern is Mercury and Mars. And that is in your eighth house. But it makes a beautiful trine to North Node in your 12th, and therefore a sextile to your South Node in your sixth house as well. And Mars is the ruling planet of yours, in its own sign. So this is empowering. This is about moving from crisis towards empowerment. So, yeah, you might have been going through a tough period, but now I need to feel strong. I need to be focused. I need to have that life force. I need to figure out that formidable power within myself. So I can get intimate. I can make these deep bonds because potentially superficial connections are not cutting it out for you right now. I want to be merging with others deeply. I want to uncover the hidden truth. I want to be seeing the psychological depth of this life. So I might decide to go to a psychologist. Well, negatively speaking, I can hire, a private detector, checking up on my girlfriend and husband and stuff like that. But that's not really the rebirth process, right? Because it's also about being able to trust your own abilities. And that trying to 12 house north node indicates that maybe you are ready to forgive. Maybe you are ready to use spirituality for your own benefits. You're ready to surrender. You are ready to gain more personal power by confronting these subconscious matters. Maybe you're ready to, do spiritual practices. You are ready to heal. You are ready to learn to move from your personal power towards more of a collective power. Your default settings is very much the South Node right now. Yeah, I'm ready to, go to the gym and do push-ups and running and all those type of stuff. But yeah, that energizes your body. Excuse me. But maybe that's just kind of like healing the symptoms. You are just managing something, but you're not getting to the root cause of it. And you might be doing that with work, overworking and stuff like that. So it really feels like that you just want to be in control. Um, and the true form of power is not necessarily about how much of a control you are in, but maybe the power of vulnerability, the power of letting go, to move away from something that is not necessarily cutting out for you anymore. And it looks like that you get the opportunity to have certain type of closures this week, to do psychological work. It's kind of like a graduation party right now for you, whether you are able to let go of the past. And obviously, if you want to face the unseen, if you want to face the past, that requires a tremendous amount of courage. So I love this aspect pattern for you. Um, Pluto even goes direct as well this week, and that is happening in your 11th house. And maybe that is transforming now your public image. Maybe you are ready to discover something about the people that you are around with, and maybe you are ready to see the true intentions of your friends, or you are ready to see basically your what goals, what future you want to bring for or build for yourself. Even it can indicate with that Sun and Jupiter square actually that there's a lot of expectations towards you from the family, and that might be affecting your relationship as well. And that's why certain type of wounds are getting triggered within you. So maybe it also feels like that, like the partner is a bit needy, and then, their decisions are ego driven, for example. So that's even a possibility. But somehow a relationship is pushing a button within you. Maybe with that Mercury Mars, you're gonna have to be more strategic about finances. You're gonna have to have a conversation about, okay, what we're gonna do with these debts, the taxes. What are you going to do with your finances? And honest, open conversations actually can, transcend things in your life. So it's good to be honest this week. That's another stuff that actually I highly um, recommend to you. Maybe it's about, also how much love I share with others and how much they share with me. Maybe it's time to learn to share your love with others as well. Maybe it's time to say to someone that I love you. Maybe you just want to work on your existing relationship to make it more passionate. Maybe sexually, we are more explorative. Maybe we are ready to talk about the past, to share secrets. Yeah, so that's your weekly forecast, Aries rising sign. Good luck, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye bye.